Okay, people, so we got some massive One Piece between secrets and all sorts of insane and epic stuff going down. But in particular, yo, One Piece lately, dog, I ain't gonna lie, some of the action, one of the criticisms One Piece fans and people in general have had against One Piece for a minute is, yo, the action, you know, sometimes it be inconsistent. Dog, with chapters like 10:37, Luffy versus Kaido, I ain't gonna lie, it just feels genuinely, can I say this, manly? Like, it just genuinely feels manly, dog. Like, two dudes just knocking each other, Kaido up on the booze, and it just was like, yo. But then even before that with 10:36, oh my god, let's do it, baby. Let's talk some of that One Piece greatness. Damn, Oda, you gonna give us a heart attack with all this epicness, dog? Let's do it.
No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done. No matter how you move, get it done.
So for starters, I gotta go back quickly and talk about chapter 10:36 because there was some very important things going down in that chapter. In particular, the finale, the grand exit of the battle between Zoro and King. And I gotta emphasize yet again, Wano is ending. Wano is ending when some of the top commanders from Kaido's army are falling. We just had Queen fall the chapter before that, and now Zoro finished off King. Yeah, Wano is definitely coming to a close, and that's why we're getting all these secrets and reveals and everything. It's just like, yeah, it's that time, baby. But being honest, amongst everything, which again, action is all dope and whatnot, my favorite stuff is when it kept on flashing back yet again to the flashback of Kaido and King back in the days when, you know, Kaido had rescued King, essentially broke him out of the prison that he had broke out of or whatnot. Like, that whole backstory just fascinates me again, even when we see after, you know, King is defeated or whatnot, where he thinks back to when Kaido said, like, yo, you still on that? You really think that I'm Joy Boy? That really makes me wonder, like, is Joy Boy just a concept almost? Like, could it just be like something that is a will that is inherited? Like, imagine if Joy Boy is a part of like the whole concept of the will of D, and like there's somebody that is going to play a part for each person that is a will of D. Let's just say there's only 100 people from the will of D, and one of them happens to be Joy Boy, because it's just interesting that he's like, oh, you thought I was Joy Boy and whatnot? Like, almost as if there's no, well, first of all, there's no description of like, hey, this is exactly how Joy Boy looks and whatnot. But I ain't gonna lie, just when you get those flashbacks as well, it just once again reaffirms that whatever happened, something very, very bad happened to change Kaido from that happy-go-lucky guy that was just essentially a giant form of Luffy. Like, we even see instances of it, which we'll talk about in a second, in 10:37, that remind me of Luffy. Like, this is one of those cases of, yeah, dog, if he would have went a different direction, if something, whatever horrible thing happened to traumatize him didn't go down, Kaido probably would have been a righteous and really awesome person like Luffy, because, yo, he's just freaking awesome, man. That flashback, God, I hate the way Oda does it, because it's like, I just want 3, 4, 5 chapters straight of flashbacks. I know flashbacks aren't the most popular thing because everybody wants story progression of the current timeline or whatnot, but I feel in order to progress, sometimes, especially with a character that's been built up for hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds of chapters like Kaido, please just give me everything. He's a mystery that's slowly being revealed, and it's like too slow for my taste, dog. I need it all. I want it all. I know I'm just being an impatient shithead, but yeah. And we see that in that past, yet again, King, he had a resolve that he wanted to make Kaido the Pirate King. That was a common theme, that it really shows that Kaido had sold this dream, and whatever happened again changed everything, and they still believed in him, but he sold the dream to all of his people that, yo, I'm gonna be Pirate King, and they all wanted to make him Pirate King, similar to how everybody on Luffy's crew wants to make him Pirate King. Who knows, maybe Kaido was Joy Boy for a given point, but unfortunately this, that, and the third happened, and the spirit of Joy Boy left him, because even as he's losing, King is thinking back to, damn, dog, yo, I wanted to make him Pirate King, you know, I said I'm gonna make him Pirate King, and then it's kind of showing the opposite side of the spectrum of Zoro and his quest to not only make himself the greatest swordsman, but help Luffy on that journey. It's very, very eerily similar. It's almost as if Kaido and his crew in general are the Straw Hats gone down a dark road. And then we got that epic page of Zoro saying, well, in that case, I might as well be the king of hell. And I'm like, okay, so we got a different type of king here. We got conquerors, hockey king, all of this jazz, pirate king, and then we got the king of hell. Anyway, Oda knows how to make Zoro. Like, Zoro is always, no matter what, there's different players in the game, Zoro is always the badass player. Then we got a few extra showcasings of different things that were happening, you know, small, slight progression for each and everybody. I love the part of that chapter where Usopp was talking to the scabbards, because basically they're like, yeah, we're done for, you know, and Usopp is like, dog, I'm the biggest pussy in the world, bro, and even but no matter what, I'm gonna keep on saying I'm gonna live, and I'm gonna do everything in my power to live. Sometimes that goes along with the whole thing that, yeah, I'm pussy, you know what I'm saying? And I just love that it's Usopp that is, you know, badgering the scabbards in a way of like, basically, get up, y'all not dead, y'all not, why do y'all want to die right now? Get up, that doesn't mean y'all need to take the L. Like, shout outs to God Usopp, baby. We see Izo shows up and Kiku, and you know, they have that reunion, which I ain't gonna lie, Kiku should be dead, but that's a different story there, lads. We also got who I like to dub as Ears, because I can't say his name for the life of me for whatever reason. We've got Ears and Raizo going at it. I ain't gonna lie, that's one of the battles out of everything, unless it connects to something more grandiose than just them two combating. And I know at some given point we got to get the flashback of why that dude rode with Orochi all these years, no matter how horrible he was or whatever, but I'm not that excited about that one. Like, that one we could get it in little spurts and I'll be fine with it. I don't need a full-on, you're like, oh, Raizo's the king of hell type of moment for that. Like, And then we also cut to Orochi there with Hiyori telling her to play him a song because he still thinks that's Komurasaki, and I ain't gonna lie, it would be rightfully so. If it's not Momonosuke that gets the job done, at the very least one of Odin's offsprings, like if Hiyori is the one that kills him right there or tortures him right there, that would be so just. Which I wonder how much more can Orochi survive? Like, how many heads does he have left? And I'm whoa, pause. Because yeah, legitimately, again, if it ain't Momonosuke, which I feel it's definitely for the most part should be Momonosuke. Well, now that I think about it, it's kind of both. Kaido and Orochi, I feel Momonosuke should be the one to almost take both of them down, just because with Kaido, it's, you know, vengeance. That was my father. You did this to my pops and my whole family, dog, my mom, everybody. Like, you gotta go. But then at the same time with Orochi, but if he could only do, let's just say one, because for example, obviously Luffy is fighting Kaido right now, and probably Luffy would be the one to take him down in the end. I would like for Momo to take out Orochi, because at the end of the day, Orochi was the one that humiliated Odin and had him walking in the streets in his underwear dancing and all that messed up shit that happened back in the days. So I would prefer it to be Momo. But if it was Hiyori, I ain't mad at it too, because at the end of the day, that's another one of Odin's offspring. So yeah. And we also see that Apu managed to get away from CP0, which they're on a rampage as well. And that chapter ends off with Luffy and Kaido. You see that they're battling, and Luffy says that he is having fun, which I ain't gonna lie, that just led into a whole other level of manly beastliness, because chapter 1037, I ain't gonna lie, I freaking loved it as an action fan. Yes, I'm going to say sometimes I want my action, baby, and Oda delivered so much of just Luffy versus Kaido and how epic, and I ain't gonna lie, it almost reminded me to a certain degree, and I always bring this one up whenever I see any elements of it. It gave me vibes of the knife edge deathmatch of Yusuke and Chu from Yu Yu Hakusho. This drunken psycho and this guy that is just like, yo, let's throw hands. Let's just throw hands. And that's the type of vibe, but just on a more grandiose scale, because, you know, they're just on another league right now. But, because we cut to 1037 and we got like the first page of, hey, everybody celebrating in the capital of Wano and all that stuff, not realizing that any second Onigashima could come and squash them and flatten them, and, you know, it'll be over for them. But keep on celebrating, you know, hey. I don't know, sometimes I look at the people of Wano as like, I get y'all destitute and everything, but y'all be on some silly shit. Like, what exactly are y'all celebrating? But then we cut to Luffy and Kaido is sipping down some booze, and Luffy's like, what are you doing drinking? And I loved it, and I'm gonna tell you why, because one of the things, one of the moods, one of the ways that Kaido acted as he was drinking and fighting, I swear to God, that was straight up, if Luffy drank, if Luffy one day told Zoro, yo, pass me the beer, and he just got real messed up drunk or whatever, he would act like that. Like, Kaido is just adult Luffy gone wrong. That's how I attribute Kaido, because he even was acting a little bit goofy and silly like Luffy as he was drinking. He even responds to Luffy with, oh, I'm drinking because I'm having fun. Yo, you want a swig, dog? Like, we are having fun right now. And he's like, yeah, well, we're supposed to be having a banquet anyway, even though you guys ruined it. And he's just laughing. And again, it all goes back and ties into that whole aspect of what or who is Joy Boy, right? Because if Kaido was even mistaken to be Joy Boy, again, being a Luffy gone wrong, so to speak, then maybe that's why there's so much similarities, which I never in a million years would have thought that, right? Nobody could have told me otherwise that, like, yo, Kaido and Luffy, they're kind of similar, dog. I would have been like, yo, dog, what devil fruit have you been smoking, dog? Like, you smoking that mid fruit because you want some bullshit. I would have been wrong. Kaido just continues to laugh, and, you know, he's fighting with Luffy and whatnot. The roof is cracking, and then that's where it kind of switches off from Luffy to, then it's just like, oh, he's one of those messed up, like, oh, it's not even funny anymore type of drunks, because he goes from laughing and all that shit to depressed. He's like, the roof is cracking, and you know, I messed up. It probably will take, I don't know, 4 to 5 years to get it together. I'm so useless. I can't even protect one lousy castle. I'm like, first of all, that's not something you expect Kaido to say, right? I mean, I guess, well, it's been established that he's a drunk from the very beginning or whatnot, but you take a step back and it almost reminds you that, oh shit, Kaido, as you know, the man, the beast, and all that they label him, he is a person at the end of the day, and you're seeing the different sides of his personality, and it makes him feel real. I guess that's something else. Like, you know, One Piece is such an extravagant, insane story that when you get things like this, the different sides of a character like Kaido, it makes him feel real, and it makes him feel like a very well-developed character. You had regular Kaido just having a blast fighting, then you had him get drunk and now he was laughing, and then you have him going depressed and it's showing the different sides to a real person. I mean, he even starts screaming and making twisters and crying and saying, "Get away from me, you damn brat," because of his depression. And we're seeing the effects of Luffy learning how to fight against somebody like Kaido, when Kaido tries to swing a Thunder Baguya and Luffy jumps on top of it and jumps over and shit. Like, now, all of these battles that Luffy has had with Kaido, you're starting to see the fruits of his labor of, okay, I know how this dude operates now. On top of that, the drinking, I'm sure, even though they had a little debate about it, Kaido saying, I already declared you're strong, man. It don't matter. I ain't gonna gripe about being drunk or whatever, but probably Kaido started drinking in between it because he's probably having a mixed emotional mess of a mind right now. It's like, for starters, he even declares, yo, I haven't had a one-on-one that was serious like this in I don't know how long. Like, even the skirmish that he had back, what was it? Was it Shanks that stopped him from getting to Marineford or whatever? Like, even back then, which my mind just got blown, why did Shanks stop him from going to Marineford to begin with? Like, were you trying to protect somebody? Because if Kaido was a radical and he really, at the end of the day, almost aligns with somebody like Dragon, he might have been going to Marineford like, yo, we could squash the Marines right now. And then somebody like Shanks was like, yeah, I'm gonna protect the Gorosei. Shanks, you looking sus right now, dog. And some of the panels in here, dog, where you got Luffy and Kaido charging at each other. Oda was going in. I think Oda's having a blast drawing this. I ain't gonna lie. I think he's having a blast drawing this fight of Luffy versus Kaido. And then Kaido sobers up. And I quickly realized, holy shit, I've had some crazy nights kind of like this, like Kaido, dog. I am kind of like Kaido, I ain't gonna lie. I've had them nights, and I'm sure you watching right now, somebody out there has had one of them nights too, where you started off laughing, then you was crying at one given point, and then the booze started wearing off, and you was like, I'm angry, dog. Why? And this is why I put down drinking, dog. And then when you just see the panels of them going mano a mano, swinging back and forth, Luffy getting some digs in, Kaido getting digs in, it again reminded me of what I said earlier in this review of like the knife edge death match between Yusuke and Chu from Yu Yu Hakusho on a more grand scale. It gave me that vibe, and it also made me feel proud of like, yo, Luffy's really doing this, dog. He's really doing this. That training in the Udon prison, like, it helped. Everything he's been through in Wano, it helped to get him to this point of he's throwing hands with Kaido, and Kaido is admitting, yo, you're formidable. But then we cut back to the Holy Land with the Gorosei, and yo, One Piece, when it comes to the mystery, that's one of my favorite points of the entirety of this story. And they start teasing once more about what went down in the Reverie, and it's been how many years since that was, you know, kind of glanced over, and we still don't really know what happened to Vivi and Sabo and everything there. Like, yo, dog, Oda, you holding out. And it's stuff like that that makes probably a lot of fans more so want Wano to end already, so we could finally, because you know it's going to be at the end of Wano where we're going to get the big revelation of what really happened and all of that jazz. But they're teasing again about the Reverie because they're talking about like, yo, dog, it just feels like it was a cursed year for the Reverie. Like, everything that went down was just, it was too much. It's a cursed year. However, Wano is clearly posing a threat to their whole ideologies and whatnot because, yo, we got bigger pressing matters is what they say. And they keep on about Robin, dog, that Robin needs to be apprehended and all that jazz. Clearly, they don't want the Void Century secrets to come out because it's going to probably make them look extraordinarily bad. It's basically the equivalent, and probably even more so, even crazier, because God knows what Oda has planned. But it's essentially looking at the perspective perspective of, as a kid, you learn that, yo, Christopher Columbus came to America and he discovered it all and it was all hunky-dory and whatnot. And then you find out, oh, Christopher Columbus came and he slaughtered all of the natives and did a bunch of very horrible, heinous acts. He was a monster. That's probably what's going to happen with the Void Century. And what will that do to the world and the citizens if that gets broadcasted everywhere that the world government are some monsters and they slaughtered a bunch of people? And Robin has the capabilities of reading things and tablets that might be able to relay that info. And they're even talking about like, yo, dog, the battlefield of Wano is a great place for somebody to unexpectedly die. Which at that point I was kind of like, are they still talking about Robin? Like, because she's a pirate. Like, they don't need a reason to unexpectedly have somebody die. I was like, what's going on here? And either way, I swear to God, they better not kill my girl Robin. Because, end game, a Straw Hat can die by the end of One Piece. Maybe not now. They still probably can't do it. But by the end of things, somebody can die. And I swear, if it's Robin, and if that's the thing of like, she'll finally be free by being dead. Because they're like gung-ho on doing our girl dirty. However, there's somebody on the lookout over there at the Holy Land, and they see a big giant shadow, and they start getting petrified and devastated. And at first I was like, a big shadow? What the hell? What are they talking about? And they say they think it's impossible. The fruit is nothing but a myth. It hasn't awakened for centuries. And by the end of the chapter, you realize that they're referring to ZOU, the elephant itself, the land of ZOU that was basically on top of an animal or whatnot. And seemingly it is approaching the Holy Land. And it kind of just blew my mind. Like, wait a minute, who would be on top of ZOU approaching the Holy Land right now? What is going on here? And it also once again pushes even further that we're probably exiting out of Wano because we got so many things happening outside of Wano that it's about that time. I mean, Luffy is fighting Kaido in a life or death battle, and it looks like it's headed towards its climax. And they said they were hiding the fruit's true name from the animals of history. And unfortunately, the manga is on break next week. But god damn, between the drunken Kaido versus Luffy battle and the mysteries and the secrets of One Piece and ZOU and everything, I can't even call it right now why the hell ZOU would be coming. Like, who is still left on ZOU? Did anybody stay behind on ZOU now that I think about it? Because Neko Mamushi is not there. So I'm wondering what the hell is going on. Like, yo, imagine it's something to do with Shanks, maybe the disagreement he might have had with the Gorosei. I don't know, but either way, shit is about to get real. And this also might lead into big reveals of what the Gorosei are capable of. But I'm very curious what you guys think. I guess I want to ask the biggest question to you watching this right now. What is going on with ZOU? Why is it headed towards the Holy Land? And what is about to go down with the Gorosei? Also, the concept of Joy Boy. Could it possibly be that it's just almost a spirit that can inhabit somebody and possibly even leave? Maybe at one point Kaido really was Joy Boy, but because of the trauma and whatever happened to him, it left him, and now it is embodied within Luffy. And your overall thoughts and expectations for the One Piece manga with chapter 1038 and beyond. This was greatness. That's all I have for this one, though. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you want more from me, make sure to subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram. Hit that bell to get all notifications. And if you want to follow any of my other social media, links are in the description below. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day. And remember the golden rule. Anime and manga for life, boy. Have an awesome day. Peace in. And, yeah, yo, giant ZOU headed towards the Holy Land. Oh shit, this is gonna be hype. Have an awesome one.
So just go to